So thank you very much. My name is Tommy D. I'm a music producer and a songwriter and an artist and a whiskey merchant. If you want to know about whiskey, come and talk to me, although I stopped drinking. And I'm also a tech entrepreneur. I've been in the music industry for over 30 years. I've worked with all kinds of different people, from Kanye to Jay-Z to, I don't know, Chaka Khan, loads of people. And I've been signed to major labels pretty much all my life as an artist and a songwriter. Why have I been signed to major labels? Why do I predominantly work with major label artists? Because major labels run the music industry. And they run the music industry because it's a kind of system that revolves around gatekeepers. 88% of the money that is generated by music goes to those gatekeepers, not necessarily major labels. It could be distribution, it could be royalties, it could be all kinds of stuff. So I fell down the crypto rabbit hole back in 2015. I fell in love with Bitcoin, fell in love with decentralization, and I always knew that there was an opportunity to do something with music and Bitcoin, music and blockchain in general. I didn't know really what that was until NFTs came along, and then turbocharged by the problems of COVID and the incredible impact that was having on my music industry, I thought, right, I'm going to bring these two things together. And so I formed this company here, TokenTraxx. We're a company that innovates the music business using Web3 tech and strategy. What does that actually mean? It means we look at every different aspect of the music industry. All kinds of different aspects, from royalties through to registrations, through to predominantly, collectabilities, membership schemes, all kinds of stuff like that. We are there to hold the hand of the music industry into this Web3 space. But today, I wanted to tell you about something really interesting, because what the music industry can teach everybody in this space is about something we all really, really talk about and we all really, really need. And it doesn't matter what project you guys are all doing, involved in out there. What I'm going to talk to you about today is going to really help you to fine-tune your concept into this, which is community. We call it, community is a shit word, by the way. This space is full of so many shit words. We call it fans, right? That's what we call it in the music industry, they're fans. And actually what fans do is they give you support. So really what you're looking at is support. This picture is brilliant. It's Kurt Cobain being physically supported by his fans. This is the kind of thing you guys want for all your projects. It's people who will go to this length to support the people they love, right? You might be doing a DeFi project, but it doesn't matter. You still need this kind of love. You still need this kind of passion. And the thing about the music is everybody loves music. If I was to come and ask each and every one of you what your favorite song is, you would tell me, and you would tell me why. And you go in with such great detail because it's emotional, it's passionate, right? Because we lose our shit to music. We love it. So this is what we do in the music industry, and this is what I'm going to tell you about how you can help yourself to do this. Let's start with something which is we need to understand, which is we need our pool, right? In the music industry, it's quite easy because you can go to Spotify and there's a number at the bottom here. It says 30,413,224 monthly listeners, right? That's the monthly listeners. Let's focus on that number a little bit, 30 plus million. What are monthly listeners? Monthly listeners are not the same as streams. It's not when you listen to music. It's literally how many people are actually uniquely listening to Snoop in one particular month. So one unique listener is the same as someone who continuously plays your music for an entire month. There are actually farms. Spotify have shut this down now, but there used to be farms of people with millions of mobile phones, and you could pay them to just constantly stream your music on 24/7. It's hilarious. Interesting statistic, only 80% of artists on Spotify currently have only 50 monthly listeners. It's really sad, and that's one of the problems that we need to address using blockchain technology to create a more egalitarian world for music industry, and particularly outside of that as well. Let's focus back in on that 30 million. Let's look at how Snoop's fan base of 30 million actually breaks down. I'm going to break it down into 4 really interesting, straightforward concepts. So 75% of that 30 million is going to listen to Snoop but does not attend a concert, right? 15% going to go to 1 concert, 6% 3 concerts, and here's the golden one, 3%. 3% go to 5 concerts and bought merch. Why is that important? Why is concerts and merch important? Because people are actually spending the 2 most valuable commodities that each and every one of us has, our time and our money. Right? They are taking the time and they are spending money to go to concerts. It costs a lot of money, right? We've all been to concerts. I'm sure there are artists out there that you love that you don't go to any of the concerts, right? So you might be in that 75%. Now, why this 3% is really interesting is because you only need to focus on that 3%. So all of you lot with your different projects, you need to get to that 3%. How you do that, that's up to you because it depends on your project. But if you use that concept, it makes it a lot easier for your targeting and your social media and whatever it is you're trying to do. In Snoop's case, that's 900,000 people. So we've gone from 30 plus million just down to 900. And instantly, that becomes a much more manageable number for us to get to. Why is that important? These guys are super fans. And they're not actually fans, they're partners. I wrote an article about a year ago called 100 True Partners, which was an extension of 1,000 True Fans. It's an article that Kevin Kelly wrote at Wired back in 2008. The idea was that you don't need billions of streams, you don't need millions of likes on social media, you don't need any of that. What you need is just 1,000 people giving you $100 a year, which creates 100 grand, which to most people is a living wage. I've updated it that you actually only need 100 people generating $1,000 a year. With NFT sales and with community building, you can do that. Superfans account for close to 60% of all overall artists' income. I don't think this is much different from any other space, right? 60% come from that 3% I talked about. So if we can double that 3% to 6 or 7%, suddenly you start doubling the entire value of the music industry. That's huge. That's a massive thing. And the other great interesting thing is that that's exactly what's happening right now with music NFT artists. They are doing that. Goldman Sachs report indicated that as much as 20% of the overall fan bases are willing to spend double the average, and that better monetization of music superfans would generate $4.2 billion for the music business annually. I know these numbers to some of you may be kind of small because you're in crypto and maybe billions is billions, but to the music industry that's valued at $28 billion, that's a big jump, okay? How do we do that in the music industry? We talk about assets, right? What are the assets that you can offer? What have you got that someone else might buy, right? Might pay for? This is some examples of assets that are in the music industry. I'm sure some of you have bought some of these, possibly all of these, of some of your favorite artists. There's tons of them. And these are all things that can be bundled into different NFT packages, different structures, different membership schemes. And this is something, again, I want you to take into your concept about what you're giving your customers, your fans, your partners. Let's look at some of the music NFT artists that are out there doing amazing stuff. This is Emma Miller, Josh Savage, and Violetta Zeroni. Many artists that are in this space right now are trailblazing the concepts around music NFTs as collectibles and validated entry to exclusive membership fan clubs. The music industry has always built itself on fan clubs because music has to. If I have a #1 single this week, I don't have a #1 single next week or the week after. So I've got to constantly be rejuvenating and reinvigorating my career. This is why music NFTs are absolutely smashing it right now. Owners get access to exclusive gated private shows and merch. You know, all of them do shows every week, right? Online gated shows. Emma is actually performing tonight. TokenTraxx is hosting a music night tonight from 5 p.m. downstairs in the bar. We've got Emma's performing. Sadly, Josh and Violetta couldn't make it. We've got loads of other amazing artists. Alice, J10, and Matt Bell. I suggest you all stick around for that. It's going to be amazing. Combination of NFTs trigger even greater access and benefits, thus driving fans to trade to get these elusive versions. So if you want to do this, or you want to go there, or you want to be at this gig, or you want to be on that live stream, you have to have these combinations of NFTs. This drives the secondary market. Violetta's NFTs have generated over 440 ETH. Maybe not a lot to some people, but a huge amount to most music artists. That's the equivalent of 288 million streams on Spotify. Just think about that, and then you understand why the music business is fucked. Exactly. But the problem that we are facing is that right now, NFTs in general need to be predominantly sold through marketplaces. Nothing wrong with that. We all have a good marketplace. But unfortunately, OpenSea, as we saw recently, have gone into this battle with Blur, and they've cut it. So Where does that leave music NFTs? Well, what we go back to is my company, TokenTraxx, because what we do is we address this. What we do is we build decentralized technology for the music industry. What does that look like? It looks like a marketplace which we own and have ourselves, and artists can come on and do amazing stuff. The Track Studio, which I'll come to in a minute, this is decentralization as a service. We build you a marketplace with all the gubbins. We stick it in your domain, whatever it is you've got. And we advise everybody on how that works. The Track Studio, we call it a studio because it's a place. Here's me in the studio. Here it is. This is actually me in a Tom Grennan session, actually. Why do we call it a studio? Because studios are places where people can do incredible stuff with technology. The Track Studio is what we will build for you and for artists. The beautiful thing about it is all the Track Studios are completely networked together. They all talk to each other. We have gated areas inside there. This is a approach where you can come on as a fan, you can buy an NFT, it's cheap, it's Polygon, it's Zilliqa, it's credit card. Then you can go straight away to your token gated area where you can see a live stream. This is all within your domain, and that's the crucial thing. Got to wrap it. So a quick one. Please support this new project that we're doing called My Sahal. It's incredible. It's with conscious music, United Nations, Coldplay, TikTok. Everybody's involved in this. Go to the TokenTraxx website, which you can see here. There you go. Thank you very much.